हाँ मेरे को बस
Yeah. So KDB, so he's announced that he's leaving Man City at the end of the season. I mean, yeah, rivals, of course, but what a career, man. I mean, a career any footballer would die for. Six Premier League titles, five FA Cups. Sorry, my bad. Five League Cups, two FA Cups, and one Champions League with
one Champions
City.
League, right?
and
One
uh,
Champions
and a
League.
treble. And I
Yeah,
see
yeah, yeah.
top is the treble and winning the Premier League uh three times consecutive times twice, right? So
Yeah.
that also is an achievement in itself. But I'm not exactly sure how we can start this conversation because it's such a legend of Man City, and obviously people are talking about the statue. And Pep Guardiola was asked, "Would you know, would KDB deserve a statue?" But uh, there were conversation of Aguero having a statue. So, but
He cannot be replaced.
yeah, he
He
cannot
cannot
be.
be
So,
replaced.
so those things for that one goal alone, which won them the title, right?
Yeah,
Aguero.
yeah, yeah.
And so, but yeah, as Guardiola rightly pointed out, that obviously KDB is going to have a statue in the near future. Is a legend of Man City for about 10 years, consistently giving out performances. Obviously, his performances declined because when you are at the top competing consistently for 7, 8 years, I mean, obviously your legs will go
Yeah, legs
completely.
be given.
And I mean, four in English Premier League, it sucks the energy out of you. So, but I wanted to ask you, where would you rate it? We've seen great midfielders playing in the Premier.
Yeah, yeah,
Where
yeah.
would you where would you rank KDB if we have to sort a list of, let's say, five greatest midfielders of all time? It's very difficult, right? Because he was an attacking midfielder.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of efficiency, I would put him on the very top. And there was a period of time I was thinking ki maybe it's Guardiola who plays them like that, so the players are in that position and whatnot. But it all changed in that World Cup match where they played against Brazil, right? And the team was not showing up, but KDB showed up. One
Hmm.
man alone. It didn't matter. And then I started realizing that the speciality of his, right, as one of those times who Neville has already played with had already played with Gerrard and Beckham, and he was like his crossing was on par, if not better than these. And at that point of time, even I was being educated because I realized that the balls that he put from the position he put was always the danger area. In terms of efficiency, I would say that you can like I fell in love in football watching Ronaldinho, who's a number 10 as well, right? And I fell in love because of what he did with the ball, which was outstanding. How he did it, how he changed the course of the game, how he changed for Barcelona as well, how he uplifted them. But I look at KDP, I just realized that just because he's not that outspoken, let's say, he's
Hmm.
not that outspoken, and he's not exactly a very
He
uh,
maintains a low key of the
he's low key. He's not someone who's supposed to be extremely charming or something, and he does not come out and he does not do regular articles about him either. He's very conservative is not the right word, but he's an introvert by nature.
yeah.
But on the field, he's there, and when he was there on the top of the field, everybody agreed, even the best of the players agreed who he was. I remember that time Pogba had also come, and Pogba had come to United, and Pogba always used to figure out in world 11s, right? When the ceremony used to take place, even in the young. And I remember very soon they had asked, "Do you think there is a player midfielder better than me?" He said in the Premier League, yes, and he said with each KDB. And that's when I understood that even the players understood who he was. And I would say in term there was this brief interview also about uh, what he liked to do. He said that I used to love the playing the ball in that dangerous Bermuda triangle. That's what he used to say in front of the goal, just in front of the goal, so that if if I can give it to my player, right, my player would be. He used to say my player would be between two defenders, and my job was to make the ball reach in case even if my player missed, if it touched the other player also, it would be a
Yeah.
problem for the keeper, and the ability to score would increase. So
Like
in
we
his
call it
head,
in cricket, the corridor of uncertainty. You don't
yeah,
know if you have to poke at it or leave.
precisely. Basically, it was that,
Yeah.
right? It
Yeah.
was that, and that's when you realize that these people are really, that smart. For us, it was a simple cross at that point of time. But as I started watching more and more, I realized this is the way he thought, right? And a lot of coaches who had coached him and the other coaches said that a lot of times, even the players, I remember Andre being like, some of the passes that he gives as a player that wouldn't come to my head the way he does it for
Yes.
me. I know a lot of people might call it a recency bias, but for me, he's easily in the Premier League, at least the top three midfielders that I have seen,
Okay.
right? Forget I have seen. I'm saying even the old tapes that I've watched of the Lampards and the Scholes and the Gerrards, right? I put him right out there because he used to run. People forget that he had very strong legs, strong running power. Defensively, also he used to put in a shift.
Yeah.
And if City were looking to go forward, he was the guy they would look up to. The Champions League that they have, when they where they when they won it, where they went on to defeat Real Madrid, by the way, they owe him. They owe him and his strike. And, and I'm just like, in my head, it's very simple that if KDB belonged to Brazil per se, or England,
Yeah.
or Spain or Italy, he would be held as one of the topmost. He's still held, but when you see like the way people talk about a Perez, no, sorry, not a Perez, also Pirlo was where I was getting at. When they talk about a Pirlo, when they talk about they keeps talking about the Modric, and it actually hurts me when I see that Rodri won a Ballon d'Or and KDB did not.
Yes.
Right. It was a bit of the timing as well, right? And achievements. And I'm not belittling what Rodri does, but I know
But
that I would
yeah.
rather have uh, a prime KDB missing than a prime Rodri missing
But
against.
that's the thing with the game, right? I mean, if you really think about it, in his time, in his 10 years at Man City, he has never won a Premier League a Premier League Player of the Month award.
Yeah.
But he has
Okay.
won two Premier League Player of the Seasons.
But
That is very difficult to digest, where
yeah,
could win, games together
yeah,
across
yeah,
without losing, and
yeah, yeah,
KDB
yeah.
would be at the heart of it. So when
Uh-huh.
narrating as to what KDB has achieved, what he has contributed, being a rival and all sometimes is thrown out of the window because you appreciate the football
You
player. I
appreciate.
had literal goosebumps, bro.
Uh,
So
you,
I mean, he was
I remember that recently he had got an injury last season.
yeah,
Uh, Last season he had got an injury and he had grown out his hair.
yeah.
And and he was just about to come on. And everybody was just looking at him. Forget the game state, what is going on? And he came and he delivered. And I was like, okay, this guy is back.
Just
Right?
just imagine him being a United player.
Yeah, yeah.
You would not know the amount of fame that he would get.
100%.
I mean, look, Bruno Fernandes, uh, his style is completely different, and obviously
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
played through the years where we have kept struggling. And
Yes.
Bruno Fernandes is
Yeah.
treated in such high regards.
Yep, 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 yep.
What is the common denominator among between a KDB and Bruno or any player of that ilk? You know what is the common denominator? It is not football. It is about the human beings that they are underneath.
True, 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 true.
Bruno Fernandes, the way he helps the community, the way he talks, the way he conducts himself on
Himself,
and off
right?
the pitch. The captain wala jo cheez. Both
Yeah,
are captain for the respective Manchester clubs. All
yeah,
they are great human beings, and that's why you consider them as role models. And there are
yeah,
very few that you will see that people consider as role models. वहां पे रियल मैड्रिड में you have Luka Modric, Toni Kroos,
yeah,
role models.
yeah,
मेरे को ये भी लगता है कि बैलन डॉर पीपल विल से स्कैम है एंड व्हाट नॉट, बट एक ओवरऑल स्टेचर भी देखा जाता है, पता है?
yeah, yeah.
रॉड्री का एक स्टेचर जो पोर्ट्रे
Uh-huh.
किया गया है या जो खुद है,
Huh.
इज माइल्स अबव विनीशियस जूनियर.
Yeah,
आई
yeah,
डोंट
yeah,
नो
that
बोथ
I
ऑफ देम
agree.
पर्सनली,
As,
पर्सनली
as
कोई
a
किसी को नहीं
person,
जानता ना.
yeah, as a person, he comes
यस,
across. Yeah,
एंटिक्स, एंटिक्स जो है ना
yeah, yeah,
इसका, इट डजंट हेल्प हिज कॉज. बैलेंडियर नहीं जीतेगा भाई, तू ये तुझे,
yeah.
you have to understand that why you did not win. But I don't want to drift the conversation away
Yeah.
from KDB, but I want to say that they are big, good human beings
Yeah,
and
and
then
and
football
and
players. Yeah,
I mean, obviously, the first thing on top comes ability,
yeah,
but when the ability becomes so close, you start looking at how the character behaves. Can he
correct,
pull his teammates up?
correct.
Is he a model professional?
Yeah.
And because the gap in the top is so less, right? There's so little margin for error, and then you start realizing that, oh, if you wanted to win a game, would you want him in his team? And the clear answer is yes, and a yes, and a yes, right?
And
And in
whatever Pep
terms of,
Guardiola has won is because of KDB and Rodri.
yep, yes, 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 yes,
Without them, we have seen what their real worth is, kind
yeah,
of.
yeah, yeah.
They will sign players, of course,
100%,
but they have signed, already spent 200, 250, 300 million pounds in
bro.
a January transfer window in itself. But yeah,
And you also have to understand the way City functions. Let's just take an example. With they started off buying with Kelvin Phillips, right? Kelvin Phillips didn't work. Next season, Matthews Nunes didn't work. Midway through the season, next season, they buy Nico Gonzalez. And now again, they're going for a midfielder because they don't think he's good enough. That just shows you KDB was more than good enough for such a long period of time under Guardiola's tenure to be always at the forefront.
no,
All you
Nico
have to look.
Gonzalez is good, right?
Yeah,
Are you
he's
sure?
good. Yeah, yeah. He. I'm not saying he's not good, but I'm saying to for them, they feel that they need another step up. Is
हाँ,
what I'm
हाँ.
trying to say. Do you understand? It's
दूसरा
like
रॉड्री तो नहीं खड़ा कर सकते.
it's like for example, you just have to look at how he's treated Phil Foden, and we would be at our heads thinking Phil Foden is probably the talent of England, the talent of this
He
one of
would
the best talent.
play in any team.
Exactly.
Okay.
And Guardiola would sit him out, man. He would keep sitting him out, and we would always question, what is he doing? What is he doing? But I
Yeah,
realized
I
later,
question the player all the time. If
yeah,
you're in a situation like that, why are you not out of City? Because
yeah,
ambitions are like, भाई जीत रहे हैं, ट्रॉफी नाम पे आ रहा है तो
uh,
करते हैं. No, I question the mentality of the player.
bro,
He
all
should
you have to
already
look
be
at
itching
is
to go out.
that Phil Foden last year won Player of the Year, last season. And I assure you, if Kevin De Bruyne was fit, he is playing on the field. And Phil Foden, when he's been fit, he's been put out of the team. So many
Yeah,
times it's not fine. And now you just have to realize that KDB, they would always push to have KDB on the biggest matches on the field. Always. Just out of injury, just out of the wrapping wool and whatnot, he's there on the pitch. That is how he highly rated he was under Guardiola. And all you have to look at is how often Guardiola has this habit of changing players to refresh the team. And you'll realize he held on to this guy for almost 8 to 9 years. And he
yeah.
was and he was like, I'll hold on to you till you retire.
हाँ, yeah.
Literally. So for me, it's very simple. For
So
me,
KDB, I mean, originally, if KDB is leaving, I always felt that Foden is his hire to because he could play centrally, and
yeah,
and he could dribble, he could pass between the lines and all.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, whatever has happened, let the Manchester City guys, deal with that situation. But coming back to KDB's brilliant ability, I just wanted to point out another thing which you also touched upon is that whenever I saw Man City play, I saw that the ball would actually come to the feet of the player. You don't have to even rush. You don't have to run. You just had a set plan where the ball is going to fall. And what I know he was also good at between passes between the lines, right? But what I really loved is his early balls. And अर्ली बॉल मतलब बीच मिडफील्ड से वो बॉल डाल देगा
डाल देगा.
एंड वो फार पोस्ट पे बॉल आ जाएगा तेरे पास पूरा पैर पे.
All you have to do is run the channels. In that City team, if
या
you run the channels, you are getting your goals. I remember Raheem Sterling, man. He couldn't finish for nuts.
या
But but
बॉल
but
मिलता रहा मिलता रहा मिलता.
Miltara, and eventually he was finishing.
हम्म.
Credit to Sterling also. I'm not saying anything, but you have to understand where he was receiving the ball. Where he was receiving the ball, it was impossible to miss. It was so difficult to miss. All
या
you have to do is just touch the ball somehow.
करेक्ट.
And they say, oh, this is easy, but you look at how many players can do it in this world.
No, no, no.
Not
It is
many.
not easy to
It's not
keep
easy at all.
to
And
keep
to do
playing
it
the ball
consistently.
across the face of the goal. That is a attribute.
Yeah.
I feel that was the biggest attribute KDB had.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
मेरे को लगता है.
Also, a phenomenal ball striking, man.
Ball
Phenomenal ball
striking on
striking.
both feet. Both feet.
Both feet.
Both.
Both feet. And I've been like, as an Arsenal fan, I've been at the end of it so many times because I think he just came out in anger against us. That's what I felt like.
Yeah.
Left foot, right foot, boom. And shot on target with power. And I remember before that, I used to look up at Gerrard's strikes because Gerrard used to strike from behind and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
And I realized this that most of Gerrard's strikes, because I used to follow him like that, were from the right feet. And I used to always appreciate the fact that he's carrying the Liverpool team because that's what it felt like. But I just realized that KDB also to a certain extent was carrying that City team. It's just that there were better players, and the fact that there were better players, it was difficult to appreciate KDB more. But all you have to do is look at him through the years. When he came in City, first year everybody was like, okay, it's all right. Everybody's like, first year he's doing, teams will figure out, but he got better and better and better.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what was going through his head or what his training routine is, but to be at that level for such a long period of time and
Yeah.
in such a physically taxing league, and wherein that the teams had started trying to crowd out KDB because he was the ball provider, and to keep delivering that. I would say his dribbling ability was actually underrated. That's what I feel. He could dribble as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what else do you want from a cam, right?
Yeah.
And when I look at him, I'm like he fits amongst when if Real Madrid had a chance to make a Galactico team and they had the finance, he would fit in right in. Not a
How
bottom
how
of
how
doubt.
did Real Madrid never try for KDB, man? Or was there news of him trying to
No, no,
get him?
it was tried, but it was just that firstly, KDB was well settled, right? He was
He
he
was
was
winning as well, right?
he was
And Pep
winning as well,
Guardiola in itself was a great
and
coach.
it's also about he already knew England from before his time in Chelsea. His
Hmm.
family was settled, and he was being well paid as well,
Hmm.
right? And he just realized that if I'm winning everything here, right? Why would I go to Real Madrid? It's
Sad that he
also
could not play that UCL final because of an injury. He had to come off. If I
yeah.
remember, he had to either come off or he did not play through injury. I'm not able to recollect, but yeah, he got injured is what I remember and could not play. And Rodri, obviously, with that strike, won them the final. But
Yeah, yeah,
also one more thing, we are facing Man City at Old Trafford. And Amarim said, obviously, he praised him and all that. He's been a legend of the Premier League. But then he finishes off by saying that he went to the wrong side of Manchester.
yeah. Of course,
Was
he
to
would.
say that, but
Yeah.
but I just wanted to understand what do you think the reception will be after the news has come out? What will be the Old Trafford reception? Would it be like they would boo KDB, or do you think he will have a warm reception from the Old Trafford crowd?
Okay, with the number of City fans that they have, right? with the I would say City fans to jo denge denge. From my understanding, any the PL fans have the ability to appreciate good talents, and I've seen this. And specifically when you know that he's been there, he has caused you a lot of trouble, right? But that is on
Right.
the pitch. That
Right.
is on the pitch, and I believe most team fans, like, right, they know how to appreciate good talent. So I'm pretty sure he will be appreciated. In
Yeah,
fact,
unless you are from Arsenal, for United fans at least, unless you are from Arsenal or Liverpool,
uh,
who have been our main rivals,
uh,
we generally appreciate from the talent from other
no,
sides
and,
of Manchester.
certain talents need to be regarded at that level
हम
because they
विराट
have
को
that
कभी we
level.
will not clap him. Oh, what a player! We will never do that.
Uh,
so, but you reserve because of the things they have also done. You know, appreciating, clapping off. You know, when
uh,
he scored goals. Neville will never be appreciated no matter how well he does. But yes,
uh,
Ronaldo was appreciated at Anfield because
uh,
he had a good demeanor and yeah, when he faced the Liverpool fans at Anfield.
yeah, yeah.
So it's about the stature and how they have behaved when they have traveled.
Yeah, it is about how they have behaved. In general, I've realized this that English fans, they appreciate mercurial talents. They appreciate,
Yeah.
right? And if you've done this for such a long period of time, right? For
Hmm.
such a long period of time,
Hmm.
you are going to be appreciated, no matter what, unless and until he just comes out and says that I've made United my dogs for the last 10 years or something like that,
Exactly.
which
Exactly.
he's not that kind of a person.
Yes, yeah.
He does his talking on the pitch,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
That also puts him in a high stead for a
Exactly.
lot of fans.
यही बात है बस.
uh,
So yeah. So let's see. I mean, obviously he hasn't been starting games, and considering, I'm not sure if City have enough injuries to, you know, start him now because he has not been starting games even when he's fit because his legs are gone. And
yeah, his,
probably the right time to go kind of in a high. Obviously, this is did not go well, but
mhm.
yeah, signing off on a high and not overstaying your welcome, right? So
Welcome, yeah,
this is very good to understand that I have not been able to contribute that way,
yeah,
impact games when he's coming on or playing. So perfect time for him to leave.
yeah,
Yeah, let's see how the weekend goes. Obviously, we have a game coming up, right,
mm.
against Manchester Derby.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, that's enough. I guess. What do you call?
yeah.
Appreciation of KDB.
Yeah, what a player, man. What a player.
Yeah,
Absolute delight.
yeah. Have a good rest of your career. I guess. Obviously, he'll be
Yeah,
going to Saudi or
yeah.
something for sure.
Go to Saudi, go wherever you
Oh,
want.
enjoy. Obviously, he's hinted multiple times that, yeah, I mean, I could earn more money. I'm in the twilight
Yeah.
of my career. So, yeah,
Go leather the ball somewhere else, man. Yeah, of course, there's enough
go to
money there.
Ronaldo's team, Al Nassr or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one is going to watch you, but yeah, still go. Fine.